Good evening, I'm David Hill. I want to thank all of you for coming tonight. You're investing 2 hours, I hope wisely, in deciding who will lead Auburn and the council forward in the next 4 years. This is an extremely important time. I also want to thank the Chamber tonight and the business community for affording the candidates this possibility. During this campaign, as I've talked with voters, one of the things that I frequently am asked about is what kind of government does Auburn have? And I have to tell people that what we have is what our political scientists like I would call a weak mayor form of government. Doesn't mean we're weaklings, but the mayor, frankly, is sort of a glorified council member with a better title. And so what that informs us, though, is that we have to, in this community, to move things forward in that sort of system, is that we have to have a mayor that has really strong skills, experience, but particularly a power of persuasion. Someone that has the ability to coalesce council around a vision and certain goals and to ensure that everyone is moving in the same direction. I think based on the kind of career experiences that I've had and I would bring to this job, that I'm best qualified to be that persuasive mayor, to try to get the city moving in a completely new direction. I feel like sometimes as I've gone through this that the experience that I've had in my life, which are broad and varied, it prepared me for this moment. I was as a student growing up here in Auburn, at Auburn High School and Auburn University. I started being involved in leadership very early. It's probably will impress you that I was the second vice president of the student council. But then I went on to be a student senator and president of the student body at Auburn University. I was president of my graduate student association at FSU when I was seeking a PhD there. For more than a decade, as a faculty member at major universities, including Texas A&M and Kansas State University, I taught politics in leadership that's deepening my kind of understanding of best practices. When in College Station, I served on the Planning and Zoning Commission, and I chaired a Parks and Recreation board. When College Station was going through the kind of explosive growth and dealing with the kinds of problems that we're facing in Auburn now. These were training steps for me. I've become a consultant to state, city, local governments. What I've learned thus far gives me an opportunity to be informed about the many varieties of different practices in city government across the country. Working with non-for-profits, working for major corporations and their contacts. All these, I think, have given me a breadth and depth of experience that I would bring to this job.
Community and the way you embolden our business community. Thank you for all those on Facebook Live that are watching us tonight, that are giving up your time at your house. And we look forward to many more meetings with Facebook Live in the future. My life experience, my journey to this point started when my family moved to Auburn in 1965. My granddaddy brought my dad and my mother and myself as a small child to Auburn to start a retail business. We were merchants. And growing up in that business in downtown Auburn was an unbelievable experience. I've been able to wander around downtown Auburn and watch my family really grind away in a family business where all they could count on is their efforts, their ingenuity, and their work. I was able to work in that business with them as a young person, as a teenager, and really understand the value of what unloading a truck is like, what taking the trash out is like, but most importantly, what being nice to people is like, and how do you treat those that work for you. I was able to come back and work with my family after college and see that firsthand as you led a staff of 40 to 50 college kids on a quarterly and then semester basis, as you dealt with the customers that came in that had all kind of different needs and desires and came from different walks of life. And I watched my parents as they served this community in great ways, as my mom and Nancy Peniscovic founded what has turned out to be the Bethany House. And my dad was the Chamber of Commerce president and served as the Dixie Youth Board president. So that encouraged me to find my way into community service. And I did that by serving as president of the Chamber of Commerce and working as the chairman of the Boys and Girls Club for 5 years. And I was able to bring the Dixie Youth World Series to Auburn, where we had over 200 volunteers and raised $250,000 we put on a national championship baseball tournament right here in our community in 2005. And we used that to go and recruit the Super 7, which is the Alabama State Football Championships, that formed a partnership between the cities of Auburn and Opelika, and the cities of Auburn and Opelika and the city of Tuscaloosa, and the athletic department at the University of Alabama and the athletic department at Auburn, and the football staff at the University of Alabama and the football staff at Auburn, all for the betterment of the children of our state. And what all those things have in common are people, and people make a difference. And now is the time for you to make a difference in your community. And as we move forward into the next 4 years, 2 years from now, I'll call all of you together as we do a strategic plan for Auburn called Auburn 2040, where you can put your mark on this community for years to come. You can have your impression on Auburn for years to come. Because Auburn and the people of Auburn is what Auburn makes, is what's truly special about our community.
Building this shattered trust and confidence that has evolved over the last 40 years. I'm a candidate. People call me up that have never met me, don't know me, and they complain to me that they feel that they're not being listened to. And they feel that too often when they attend city council meetings, they don't have adequate opportunity to speak. Even when they do have an opportunity to speak, they seem to feel that decisions have already been made. You know, there's one kind of listening. One kind of listening is you just sit there waiting for the other person to stop where you can talk. And there's another kind of listening where you're really trying to understand what you're being told. And too often, I think the citizens of our community feel that no one's really interested in their opinion. Until we heal that wound, it's going to be difficult to move forward on other important projects, from sidewalks to economic development, because we've got to rebuild trust. So that would be the very first thing that I would concentrate on. How is that? I think just listening and not telling people how to think. When people say something that's contrary to maybe the way I might understand it, my first reaction cannot be to lecture them on how they're wrong. Here's how it should be. I think we're going to have to provide a lot of opportunities for more input from citizens. I don't really think that the 5 minutes that are allocated during regular council sessions is adequate. I'm going to encourage other council members to do more like Linda Tremaine has done and hold monthly meetings with citizens to air some of these issues out. We've got to rebuild trust and confidence and the bond between citizens and those on the council.
Ron? The theme of my campaign has been, let's do this together. And that's how I'll lead Auburn. We'll do this together. I'll be a consensus builder. When we have a hard decision to make and there are different points of view, we're going to listen to all points of view. We're going to try to find common paths. We're going to see if there's something we can all agree on, and then we're going to have to make a hard decision. Listening to everyone is the most important thing a leader can do. Everybody has value. All of your opinions matter, and we must be inclusive. It doesn't matter where you work, where you live. Auburn is about succeeding for all of us. As leaders, we have to be prepared to learn from our mistakes and admit those. We have to change policies that don't work. But we can build on our successes, and we have to have courage to seek new ideas. I look forward to including everybody. And if we do all come together, and we do work on those things to make Auburn better, in 4 years when we're back here, we won't say, let's do this together. We'll say, we did it together.
Or is change necessary?
Well, there are different versions of this. I've spoken to Dr. Gooch and I've spoken with Dr. Lee, and I think both, particularly Dr. Gooch, have more experience with this. Dr. Lee's still kind of getting to know the town-gown relations. Is that they were good sometimes and not good sometimes. Because Auburn University is the lifeblood of this community. We really need them to always be very good. And we need to communicate more regularly and better. I think Dr. Lee understands this. And he appointed someone, one of his first acts, to serve as a liaison between the university and other entities, including the city. But I would think that we need to make it more proactively interconnected. I would offer to meet with Dr. Leith every month for breakfast or every couple of weeks to just check off, are we on the same page? Are we working together? Are there any things that you need to succeed? I would love to help him implement his program of additional graduate research and graduate faculty and sponsored research. I could help in that by trying to, for instance, recruit industry, try to recruit the types of jobs that might provide internships for Auburn students. So it needs to be closer. It's not always been in the past, and I think it's like communicating with citizens. You just have to sit down more often. Richard's right. Some things that we do less often, we need to do more often. And my impression of Dr. Leith is he very much wants to have very strong relations with the city. And I would certainly be a partner with him in that.
The relationship between the university and the town is vital. We are together. Each of us will share each other's successes, and we'll also share each other's burdens. I believe that the relationship between the university and the city has been very positive. Just to name a few things, that there are ongoing partnerships. The Harvard College of Business Launchpad program, the research park, the airport, the police force, the additive program through the engineering and through GE, the Small Business Incubator program, the Auburn Research and Technology Foundation, the Career Forest Ecology Center, the Performing Arts Center, the National Center for Asphalt and South Tech Park, and now, just a recent one, the Harrison College of Pharmacy will be taking a lead role in our new Boykin Community Center, new and improved Boykin Community Center, providing medical services to the citizens of Northwest Auburn. And that doesn't include all of the opportunities that we've had with Auburn Athletic Department to come together to provide new and exciting game day experiences for the Auburn alumni and fans. Yes, the relationship between Auburn University and the City of Auburn is vital. It's most important, and I will seek to make it as tight as it can ever be. Dr. Leith has hired John Thompson to be a liaison to the city, and John's role is to be all things about the city. He's supposed to know everything that's going on, and I look forward to working with John, and I applaud Dr. Leith for making that hire and displaying how important the relationship between the city and the university. I believe that those two entities stay together and build on the successes that they've had in the past, that Auburn will see better days in the future.